Mythic Rare here, and welcome back to all my A1 Day 1 subscribers. For anybody new here or just passing through, welcome. So, we're back to working on the Eternal Companion Mermaid from Sarah Burrier, and it's a square kit from Craftibly. We are getting close to being finished, so this is like the part where we see like part of her bra, and then we've got like the fins and stuff starting down here. So yes, we are so close to the finish. What you're going to be seeing is Enabler's Outpost pen, potentially the Donna Bass diamond painting pen, straightening wedge, tweezers. Those are from a past Diamond Art Club kit. Same thing with this tray. And the multi-placers, we have Enabler's Outpost putty and the flavor coconut. And then in the single placers, we have super sticky. So yeah, I could not do a WipandChat last week because I was a little bit too angry for that. So yeah, we're gonna get on into it this week. Last time from when we left off, I was super excited about getting the new oven installed, and I put in to like get out early because my thoughts were we were gonna install it Friday night for whatever reason. I don't know. So I went ahead and got out early. Alex's dad had done the conversion kit to it where he converted it from natural gas for propane, and then he went ahead and hooked it on into the wall. I mean, we didn't take it out of the plastic wrap not long ago, and this is like the first time that in my life that I've ever had a new oven in the house, because like all the appliances and such from like all of my family members were very well broken in, like everything just works. Never had to worry about ordering new of anything. So yeah, like I have some ignorance to these types of things, just wanting to preface that. We were told to expect like odd smells coming from it, especially when we first turn it on, and it may even take a good 2 or 3 times just leaving it, letting it bake before that weird factory like burning plastic smell, whatever you want to call it, is no longer there with the oven. And we're just like, all right. But yeah, we totally understood, like, the delivery person when they dropped it off, that you need to let it bake and just do its thing for about an hour so that the majority of that smell goes away, yada yada. And like later on into the night, as I was diamond painting, and I diamond painted until late, like 3 o'clock in the morning, I was starting to get an odd smell, but I was just kind of telling myself, like, yeah, we just like opened up the gas line and stuff, and then hooked a new thing in. There's probably some stuff in the air from that. It's like, it's no big deal, blah, blah, blah. And, like, I was kind of tired anyway, so I'm just like, well, I kind of don't want to, like, wake everybody up in the house if I'm wrong, you know, whatever. So I kind of just, like, let that slide and go to bed. And when Alex's parents woke up the next morning, they were smelling it too. So apparently it wasn't all in my head. It actually was gas. And long and the short of it is, I got a stern talking to, and if for whatever reason I am smelling that, I need to wake up somebody in the house so then we can air out the place. And what we had to do is we had to open up all the windows, the screen door, like, have all the exhaust fans up in the place running. We had, like, one of those stand-up oscillating fans at the screen door for the kitchen and, like, the utility room, just, like, running so that we were pushing all the gas out of the house. And then Alex's dad made, like, a soapy water solution inside of a spritz bottle, and he spritzed that on the back of the oven. And there's like an emergency valve and stuff at the back of it or something, where the gas was coming out of, because it was starting to blow bubbles and stuff. So he had to make a trip down to Lowe's in order to get some replacement fittings and such. And not only did he come back with replacement fittings, but he did later come back with a gas detector, gas sniffer, whatever you want to call it. Wow, like, the smell and everything was, like, still there, super strong, I decided to go do a grocery run to at least get out of the house, because it was, like, really starting to mess with me. By the time I come back, Alex's parents had left for the hardware store, come back with all the things, and then we were waving, we had the gas sniffer calibrate and such, and then we were waving it around in the kitchen, and it wasn't alarming with anything. And then we waved it around outside, and then it started going off. So we're just like, hey, success, we pushed all of the gas outside of the house and into the backyard, where it could just, like, dissipate and whatever. So yeah, that was kind of annoying. But it didn't ruin the whole weekend. Like, Alex and I then went to go up to the north side of town, and we did Lunar Golf. That's the actual name of the place up there inside the Quail Springs Mall. It has black lights and stuff in there, and they have a really interesting mini golf course. So there are some holes where you have to, like, shoot the ball on a loop-de-loop half pipe thingies that glow in the dark. or over top of bridges. They have obstacles that you have to shoot the ball around in the middle of like the little enclosure things for the holes that have flying saucers painted on them, and it's like trying to tractor beam a cow. And then there's like a rocket ship that you have to shoot around, and it's like really fun. For couples, it costs $17, and you get to go around twice. So I think it's like 18 holes. And then at the very end, you have a prize hole where if you make that, then you get a free novelty golf ball. Otherwise, if you wanted to get one of the novelty golf balls, then they're like $5 a pop. Yeah, so there's like some of the obstacles that I had a really, really hard time with, like ones where I had to shoot uphill. I had a hard time with. There was one of them where Alex made a hole in one, and then because I had golfed before and everything, like it it wasn't actually as hard for me. So there were like quite a few holes where it's like I could have made it in 2 or 3 shots, but I wasn't keeping score or anything. I wasn't a very serious golfer. It's just something that I would do in Cincinnati on occasion because, you know, like especially up in the Delhi area, like they have like a really nice par 5 golf course up there. So it's, yeah, it is really, really good. Fun times, lots of walking. And it's like such a trip, right? Because I'm like used to drivers and like irons, putters, like the whole, like I was used to like hitting the ball actually really, really hard. So having to like super restrain how I'm hitting that ball for mini golf was kind of a challenge. But yeah, I actually did a lot better than what I thought I was going to do. So that was a pleasant surprise. And Alex had mini golfed before, but he hasn't like actually golfed before. And he actually did pretty good. We also went and we got Cafe 7, and then Cafe 7 is a pizza place here in Oklahoma City. It's about a block down the road from Quail Springs Shopping Mall, and they have some of the best yet most deceiving pizza because it is all made like fresh to order pizza, and it's all personal size pizza, but they're like so much more filling than what you would actually think, because I'm totally used to pizza as in like large pepperoni, you know, stuffed crust, like what you get from Little Caesars or Domino's, you know, like your typical pizza places. But Cafe 7 is different because it's like Italian pastaria, pizzeria type of restaurant and stuff. They have great atmosphere. Definitely one pizza, one drink will fill you up. If you are like super duper hungry, you could probably get like garlic bread. I believe that their garlic bread is 50 cents. It's pretty decent. Or you could get a side salad and stuff, and then like that'll fill you up. Like, it's actually great value for the food. We always have good service over there. And if you go Sunday after church, they are like absolutely packed. So, on the same outing, after pizza and then after golf, we went to this place called Gamers Exile inside the Quill Springs Mall, and we got the wood prints of a couple of our favorite anime and like video game characters. So I wound up getting a wooden print of Ari from League of Legends. Then Alex got a wooden print from his favorite anime and stuff. And then when we got home, we took command strips and we stuck them to the back of our wood prints so then we could stick them on the wall. So that's all good. And by then it was like all the smell and everything was gone out of the house, so we didn't have to have the fans and whatever running anymore, and we could just chill. And then that Sunday I just kind of like chilled out and whatever, and yeah, didn't do a whole lot that Sunday. Monday, my work computer started making this really weird noise where the fans just made like grinding and whining noise. It's something that you'll know it when you hear it. You know that it's a busted fan. I'm gonna insert it really quick. Like, you can just skip a little bit ahead. I'll throw it up in the iCards or in the timestamps below for when you can skip ahead. Otherwise, just please like turn down your earphones, earbuds, whatever. Okay, so yeah, that was the noise. And that kind of noise had happened maybe like a month or so earlier, but it was kind of a fluke thing. But it did go on long enough for me to report it to tech support, and they're just like, yeah, like, let's shut off the computer, and then you're gonna hit this particular key a whole bunch of times to get you up into the BIOS. We're gonna run some diagnostic scans, and then we'll see if it returns anything. The first time that my tech support had run the diagnostic scans, like, there were no errors, like, nada. So this is like the second time in in an entire month where this has happened. I'm just like, I just had the feeling that something was up, and so I called it in to report it, and tech support is very thankful that I did. And then they went and they ran the diagnostic tests on my computer, and nothing had shown up again. So I'm just like, okay, this is odd, but whatever. Maybe it's a fluke thing. And then the sound went away again. So I was just like, okay, whatever. Tuesday, the sound came back, and I was just like, okay. Like, this is kind of annoying. But after a while, it just, it went away, and I just continued on taking my calls. Wednesday, it happened every 5 or so minutes. And at that point, I was pretty much, begging, pleading with tech support, please, is there anything that you guys could do? And they're just like, well, no, but we'll go ahead and we'll have you added to the upgrade list so you can get a new computer. And I'm just like, okay, sweet. And they said it'd take between 5 to 7 business days, blah blah blah, because we need to load your software for your work group and all that. I was just like, yeah, okay, I can stick it out. It's fine. So they went and they did diagnostic tests again and stuff on the computer, and then finally we have the money shot, the picture that we've all been waiting for. So yeah, as soon as I got that fan error message or fan malfunction message, I went ahead and I sent it on over to I went and texted it to our tech support specialist that I was on the phone with. And then, yeah, pretty much the next day, I got a thing that says your computer is being prepped at headquarters. Make sure that you move XYZ things off of your C drive and into the Microsoft OneDrive so that they'll migrate over once you get your new computer, because they weren't moved to our cloud yet, blah blah blah. So I went ahead and got all of those things taken care of. Thursday, kind of the same thing. The fan keeps on making noises every 5 minutes. Friday, same deal. Friday, I put in again to get off work early, because at that point, I was proactively taking Advil because I couldn't stand the headaches that this repeated fan noise was giving me. And I was just like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. So this past Saturday, I didn't really want to go anywhere or do anything because of how much money and stuff that was spent the week prior. But Alex was like, oh, I want to go somewhere. I want to do something. I'm bored. And I'm just like, well, okay. We have a whole bunch of downtime in between phone calls right now, because everybody's out flying around. They're not necessarily booking new travel quite yet. And I was like, well, I kind of need some more reading material in between, like, dead points from calls. So we decided to head on down to Barnes & Noble, and we scored 20% off of our purchase if we did a Barnes & Noble membership, and it was a free membership. So, because, like, all I had ever heard of them, like, advertising lately was premium, so I just kind of, like, no, and been, like, avoiding Barnes & Noble, but, you know, they were giving 20% off for new members, and it was the free version of their membership, so I'm just like, okay. I went and I purchased what should have been $90 of books, and I wound up walking out only having to pay $65, which was fabulous. If any of y'all are into anime and manga, I do have some recommendations. And I know, like, these might be a little bit old or whatever, like last year's waifu kind of things, but hey, still a good series. Run to Girlfriend. It's about this dude who, like, has his first ever girlfriend. He's so excited, and then the chick that he was dating just out of nowhere dumps him. Like, he didn't do anything wrong. He's totally traumatized by it, and he wants to have a rebound or like a one up, so he decides to do the rental girlfriend service. And, like, there's a whole bunch of hijinks that go along with it, because he's all trying to pretend, like, with this girl to his friends and family that she's actually his girlfriend. He has to pay her every single time that they go out and stuff, and it's just like it's a whole hot mess, but it's like, it's super funny. Yeah, so there's that. I've recently been getting back into Sailor Moon because I know that Sailor Moon Cosmos Part 1 and Part 2 just got released, and I was trying to find it on Netflix, but I guess United States won't have a release until around the holiday season, from what I'm understanding. Like, I had to dig around for forever for that information, and I thought, like, well, okay, I have some extra money from my check, I'll just go ahead and spring for the Netflix membership. But you know, they like, it just, Netflix didn't have it yet, and then that's how I found out after the fact. So I'll go ahead and I'll just let the membership lapse. I'll cancel it before the first of the month, and then I'll get it back again when Sailor Moon Cosmos comes out again. But yeah, for any of y'all who weren't born in the 90s or who don't know the story behind it, the story follows a girl named Usagi who has, like, these massively long pigtails. She's a junior high student. She is a klutz. She isn't responsible. She's like your, I guess, typical teenage girl. She's into makeup and fashion and stuff like that. Like, school isn't her thing. She doesn't necessarily have the best of grades or anything like that. But she runs into this cat who has a crescent mark on her forehead, and the cat winds up talking to her. And she basically is given items to help her disguise herself, to transform herself into Sailor Moon, and she eventually acquires like wands and weapons and magical powers to defeat the forces of evil. On her adventures, she winds up making friends, and then they become like really powerful allies who fight alongside of her. And yeah, she basically winds up becoming not only just a leader, but she winds up basically saving not just all of Tokyo multiple times, but like the entire universe multiple times. Very like it's your typical slice of life shoujo magical girl type of anime. But it's good. It's a classic. Another one that I've been interested in is Masamune-kun's Revenge, and it's basically about this guy named Masamune, and he is like a fat pudgy kid, and he is always, he's rich, and you know, of course, the rich people always hang out with the rich people, right? So there is this girl named Aki Adaraki, and she's got super long, like, midnight blue hair and pigtails, and she's like very snooty, very stuck up and stuff, like your typical school princess, mean girl kind of personality. And Masamune gets rejected by her, and he decides to move away. And the time that he's moved away, he like completely revamps his eating habits. He is like super into fitness, and he turns into like this really handsome stud muffin of a guy. Lord, okay, yeah, whatever. He is like hot guy, like Mr. Popular could like substitute as one of the members of BTS. Like he is that guy. So when he on purpose comes back to Aki Adaraki's school, and they're like high schoolers now. So he is like instantly Mr. Popular because of how good he looks and everything, and he winds up getting into the same clubs, like school clubs as her, and it's a whole thing about him not being found out he doesn't want to get rejected by her or anything, and they play mind games with each other. It's like, it's nuts. And basically his goal is he wants to start a relationship with her, only to reject her in the same way that she rejected him years prior when he was chubby. So it's, again, another slice of life, but is very good. Is very, very good. I love all the plot elements and stuff to it. Alex has been watching one called Jobless, Reincarnation, and it basically follows the story of this young man who cannot get a job, and it's like, it hits very close to home for him and his situation, and it's just, yeah. He says that it's good, and he, like, has a ton of anime watched, and I basically, like, trust his opinion of anime. And then, of course, like, Fire Force, I've heard nothing but good things about that. I'm wanting to watch it, but I kind of think that maybe that's going to be one where me and him watch it together, so I'm, like, hesitant to start it. And then, of course, Demon Slayer, Swordsmith Village, like, we all know by this point, Demon Slayer is so good. Like, Demon Slayer is freaking awesome. I was very, very impatient. I went and I watched Swordsmith Village as it was being simulcasted on Crunchyroll. Like, I was that impatient. But yeah, so there's like all this anime and stuff that's been watching. It's kind of been helping me, like, get through the last week and a half or so with this busted computer fan problem. And it's not just the busted computer fan that has made my work life so difficult, but it's just been the weather patterns, actually. You know, everybody probably knows by now, like, we're in the El Nino weather pattern, and it typically is very, like, zonal flow. There isn't a lot of, like, ridges and troughs necessarily, but it's more like storms will move, like, just completely across west to east. They will hit the same exact places over and over again. So, like, Chicago, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, like, LaGuardia, I mean, like, Vermont, oh my goodness, those poor people in Vermont, the flooding. Yeah, just, like, all of those places keep getting rounds and rounds of severe weather. And, you know, we had some people who, like, took 2 weeks of vacation starting on July 4th, and they were due to come back, and we're having to tell them that there isn't going to be anything available for them for a few days, or there's or we're having to have people go to other airports or spend the night because like, we have, of course, our regular passengers going, and then we're having to account for passengers who should have left already, but their flight is getting canceled. So it's like you have a huge volume of people like stuck in these places, and we only have so many open seats on the flights, and it's just like having to hear people's frustrations and stuff over and over again. It makes it really, really rough over the phone. Like, it is so much rougher in person. That's why I do not work at the airport for one of the airlines. Like, honestly, I have no idea how my mom does it, because she works at the airport for one of the major airlines. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like, after having spent way too much time at Burger King, like, 8 years at Burger King, having worked customer service, like, I cannot. Like, I need to be able to make silly faces at my computer, like, roll my eyes at the ceiling, put my calls on pause for a minute, and, like, hit a punching bag. Like, I need to be able to do those things to survive my job. And, like, not every day is like this. Like, there are plenty of days where we're booking new flights. Like, people are positive. Like, they're feeling good, we're feeling good. It's, but when it's like Groundhog Day over and over again with the weather cancellations, it gets really rough. But yeah, that's like mainly the reason why I couldn't even talk about it, is because just last week was like, it was just so up in my face and personal and stuff. Like, I didn't have anything objective to say about the matter at all. It'd just be me, like, spewing toxicity for like a straight up hour on end. But now I'm like more calmed down and stuff, and like, these are the facts, this is what's been happening, blah blah blah. So Sunday, I didn't necessarily do a whole lot. We didn't go anywhere. Basically, it was like cleaning mode activated, just because I was so upset with how my job had been going like the last week or so, that I just I just cleaned. The sink was completely filled with dishes and stuff, and then I had just like meal prepped on top of it, and 2 hours later I had everything completely spick and span spotless. Unloaded the dishwasher, loaded the dishwasher. I did, and then I processed some laundry, or like folded laundry rather, so that got taken care of. And then I stayed up late, diamond painting and stuff. Like, for whatever reason, I just couldn't fall asleep, so I was like, whatever. I'll just make sure to go to bed early on Monday so then I can do my allergy shots Tuesday. Monday, I still had the computer making the weird noises every 5 to 10-ish minutes. But Monday, it was like there was a light at the end of the tunnel because I finally got my shipping notification from HQ that my new laptop was on the way. It was going to be arriving Tuesday, and I was just like, yes. And then, so Tuesday, yesterday, I wake up super early. I take my Zyrtec at 6:45 in the morning. I do my nasal spray medications, and I leave to go to allergy shots. I get there right about 8 or so. So, like, the Zyrtec has had sufficient enough time to be in my body. I get the shot, like, wait the 20 minutes in the office, and I'm feeling pretty alright. And my commute back and forth is like 45 minutes because I live clear across town, and even though one of their offices is closer, I just, like, I know the directions and stuff for this particular office, and that's why I opted for my shots to be there already. So anyways, I told them, like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm feeling good. I don't itch or anything like that. And then I leave. By the time I'm getting home, I'm feeling like kind of sleepy and stuff like that. I'm kind of just like, well, I did not have coffee yet. I did not have breakfast yet. I swing by Starbucks. I get my usual 2 things, and then I get back on the freeway and I continue on home. And as I'm getting closer to home, I'm just like, okay, something doesn't feel right because my face is like really starting to tingle. And then when I came home, I straight up asked Alex, like, does my face look puffy to you? And then he's like, well, I don't know, but you definitely are turning pink. I know that. So I run into the bathroom and I'm like looking at my face in the mirror, and I'm just like, oh no, I can't see the indents from my cheekbones and whatever. And then I go and I talk to his mom, and she's like, yeah, you definitely are having an allergic reaction. So I said, all right, well, it's still pretty early. Let me call my allergy office, let them know what's going on. We may be able to treat this at home instead of going to the hospital. So yeah, we'll do that. Before I even called them, I went and I checked my work to see, like, were there any openings for PTO today, and sure enough, there were. So I went ahead and I took PTO and got the day off. And then I went and I called my doctor. They said, take another Zyrtec, wait about an hour, call us back, let us know if anything has changed either way. If something hasn't changed, be ready to pop your EpiPen and head to the hospital. And I'm just like, okay. So I did as directed. I just, like, kind of sat in the kitchen close to where I could see the clock and whatever, so I could keep track of time. And I just, like, kind of sat around messing with some mobile games and stuff. And then about an hour later, like, I had to go to the bathroom super duper bad. So I went And then I like looked in the mirror and I could see the indents for my cheekbones again. And my face was still feeling like a little tingly, just a little bit puffy, but I could see it was starting to go down. And Alex's mom said, "Oh yeah, like you look better." So I called them to let them know, and so yay, that was great. As of this moment, they have no intention of me skipping shots next week, but it's definitely recommended that I take 2 Zyrtec before I go and I have my next shot administered. So I'll go ahead and I'll do that, and then just out of precaution in case the same thing happens again, I think I'm gonna try to take another like flex time off or something to get that day covered so that I'm not actually responsible for working that day in the event that something does go wrong. But yeah, like that has pretty much been my last week and a half to like 2 weeks. It's been dog days of summer type of doldrums, and it's basically some days just feel like they blend on into the next. But I mean, it's all good. Just by making that one simple phone call, well, 2 simple phone calls, and acting very quickly, I saved myself $250 hospital bill, so I am applauding myself for that. Yeah, I will keep you guys posted on the allergy stuff, and that's it for now. I'll see you later. It's getting really close to my shift, so I'll end it here so that I can go to work and all that. Bye.